Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Well, I'm Andy. I own Mork Productions and Brand Slap. They're both video marketing companies. Mork Productions has been around for about 7 years. We focus on short form content for brands looking to advertise. So that's full production on site, being able to shoot and edit and make you look awesome. And then Brand Slap is a newer company that we started last year, which is a subscription editing service where you can shoot your own content on a phone and send it in to us, and we will edit it and make it look awesome and send it back. So it's a little bit more of a economic option. So a little bit about me. I've been in video production for about 13 years. But I was not a video production major or anything like that in college. I actually was a music major. Did not buy my first camera until after college. I was touring with a band and we were traveling internationally. Got to see a lot of cool countries and places, Australia, Spain, Greece, Turkey, and decided to buy a camera because I'm a tourist, and very quickly fell in love with capturing what was around me. Started to learn in that space and eventually started a company, and now I'm talking at a business development thing, which is, if you would have told me as a drummer, 15 years ago, that's what I'd be doing, I would not have believed you. We can, go to the next thing. The Rise of Video Marketing. Sounds like a Star Wars title. Yeah, there we go. So these are some fun statistics about video. My favorite one on this, though, is over 80% of all internet traffic is video. That blew me away when I first heard that. Absolutely insane. Almost 90% of marketers use video marketing, video as a marketing tool. 93% of marketers are landing new customers with short video ads. 1.6 billion people used short form videos in 2023. Video is extremely powerful. How many of you guys, I'm sure everyone has some sort of social media in some form or another. How many of you guys have posted a video before? Cool. About what? What did you post? Sure. Work-related stuff? Sure. Who else? Could be fun. Could be, actually, I'll give one. I like climbing. I do rock climbing, and earlier this year, I tore my ACL climbing, and I got a video of it. And that was a nice consolation prize to that. It hurt, and we had to put this talk off by 4 months because of it. But my friends and family and what have you saw that video, engaged, connected, gave me well wishes, reached out. There was a connection made through that video. That's not even, business related. You can swap to the next one. So why video? I would actually love to hear from you guys. Why video instead of other marketing mediums? Yeah.
It's just you can convey more in a short amount of time. Emotion, humor.
Yeah, 100%. Retention. Can you delve into that a little bit?
I think a video relates to how people respond and remember information, and it creates a visual for them so they can be empathetic to a message.
Sure. Anything else? Sure. My wife reminds me that all the time with the Game of Thrones series. In the book, Lady Stoneheart, and anyways. Yeah, for sure. Those are all great things to bring up. So on my notes, much more personable, holds attention. It's almost like you're having a conversation with the person on the other side of the camera. Oftentimes when we're interviewing people or having them, read a script off to represent their company, people get nervous on camera. They get kind of like, okay, how's my shoulders? And, I'm sure my hair is, getting a little nervous. And we try and remind them, when you're looking at a camera, all you're doing is making eye contact with the person you're speaking with on the other end of that, watching it on their laptop or their cell phone or what have you. And when we realize that all this is just a communication medium for you to get to your target audience, that pressure goes away. Because I'm sure all of you guys have been in meetings where you know confidently that you can help the person across the table, right? And video is just another way of connecting that. Now, with this though, I do want to have a caveat. It does not mean that other mediums of marketing are bad. Every single tool in your marketing bag has a use. Video is very authentic, it's very good. It's not great when it comes to communicating a ton of information, right? For example, let's say there's a PDF stats sheet or something like that with, how many lines can you fit on a page? 70 lines of data. A video would be horrible to communicate that. Also, we have physical handouts here for BrandSub if you guys are interested about it. That's a takeaway that now is going to be in your car. You might forget about it, and then you find it later. It's like, oh yeah, I was thinking about that. At least I hope so. But it's not to disparage other aspects of marketing. Video needs to have a purpose, right? What I like to say when we're talking with our clients is, not a single one of our clients actually wants a video. They don't. They could give a shit about the video, right? They care about the result of that video, right? There's always going to be some sort of call to action or engagement that they want that target audience to do. Visit our website, call for a consultation, buy this product, sign up for this service, this newsletter, donate to our cause, in the case of a nonprofit. There always has to be some sort of goal in mind because it's, a marketing thing. And so if that video does not have a purpose, why are we shooting it? You can swap, Nathan. So what to talk about in a video? So that is heavily dependent on what that video's purpose is. So, for example, let's pick an industry. Who wants to volunteer in industry? Multifamily, like development or Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you guys do in there. Like what's your value add to your clients? Sure. That's awesome. So if we're trying to get people, so are you guys the ones who are building? Yeah. Okay. Are you? So who's your primary prospect when you're reaching out? Potential renters. Okay. So a big thing with that, you mentioned families, right? Not just tenants, because these are people. And so if we were to be producing a video for that, we want to emphasize the language and the community that you're wanting to develop. Maybe I do need some more coffee. So the language that I would lean on that is painting that picture of what that perfect community looks like, and you can be a part of that, right? You're showing the ideal scenario. What about a quote unquote boring industry? Insurance. Sorry if there's any insurance people in here. Are there any insurance people in here? Okay, those insurance people there, No. Let's name off some big insurance companies. Allstate, State Farm, Progressive. There's one major one that Geico. There we go. Liberty Mutual. Okay. Picture in your mind the national commercials that you see for those brands. Think about it. Okay, Geico. What does Geico have? Gecko. What else? Caveman. Yup. All these random weird commercials. Okay. What about Allstate? Jake from Allstate. Exactly. You've got Mayhem, right? Progressive. Flow. Where the hell is all the signing of the papers and the, okay, what's my deductible? They don't show that, right? They never show that stuff. Insurance is such a great example of a quote unquote boring industry because it's basically paperwork and liability and stuff. But what are they selling? They're not selling paperwork signing. No one wants to buy that. They're selling peace of mind that when there's a hailstorm outside and you're inside with your family and you know your roof is getting demolished, you're like, we're covered, right? It's that peace of mind that they're selling. That you know your business is taken care of. If something gets stolen, you know, you're gonna be okay, right? So spell out the solution. Services, the how. So how do they do that? Yeah, let's move away from insurance because we don't want to talk about the paperwork. But you know, oftentimes we start with the problem and show the solution, and then maybe get a little bit into the how if it's a longer video. So if it's a hero video for your website, you know, you get on your website, the very first video up there, who we are, right? So we saw a problem here. Here's our solution, and here's how we tackle it, right? Then we can jump into about the company. So who are the people that you're going to be working with, and why are they so passionate about solving your problem? And what makes you guys unique? But the biggest thing, call to action, right? If the video does not get your audience to take the next step, what is it doing for you? Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to come back to what you had said a little bit earlier about the text versus video thing. People are much more likely to watch a 2-minute video than read a 30-second paragraph. And that goes with newsletters, that goes with website, that goes with any medium. People are much more likely to watch that 30-second video or that 2-minute video than read that 30-second paragraph. I don't know the last time I've read, honestly. But it's a good direction maker. So with that call to action, let's say you're doing a Facebook ad or something on LinkedIn or a TV, anywhere that's, you know, not on your website, so to speak. The goal of that video usually is to get them to a place where they can get more information. That video is almost never the very end of the pipeline. It's to get them to the next part of the pipeline. And so when it comes to the information in that video, it's not about giving them all the prices of, all the prices of everything, the next, 7 steps of the process, all the major details. They just need to know my problem will be solved if I go to this company. And then you direct them to that web page where they see that information, or they book a call and that's where they learn that information. It's a very common thing for people to want to put everything they know and are passionate about in their video, right? Well, we can help them with this, and there's this service breakout and this service breakout, and you just overwhelm someone with information and they just don't care anymore. Less is honestly more. Nathan, you can go to the next one. So types of marketing videos. So I already mentioned hero videos. So hero videos are kind of that main who we are video. It's the video you can utilize as your first impression, right? It goes on the top of your website. It's tagged to the top of your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page. It might be an email that you put in your signature when you're sending an initial email to someone. It's ideal for introducing people to your brand. Again, it's not going to communicate everything about you guys, but more about the main value add, the main problems you solve, and why work with us. Then we can get into service highlight videos. So service highlight videos, that gets into, so actually let's go back to the multifamily stuff. So we can talk about the amenities of each one of the, what would you call it? Not room, the apartments or what have you, right? Yeah. So we could talk about that. That's a service breakout. We could talk about the places themselves, the maintenance, maybe some community events. Like all of those could be separate videos. If someone wants to learn more about what does this community actually do? Am I just going to go in my room and then come out and go grocery shop and go to job and come back? Like, how am I going to get to know my neighbors? Because if part of your value add is family, community, how are you cultivating community? And so breaking those videos out into multiple examples of that, now you're reinforcing your hero video with more content that explains, oh yeah, no, this is how we continue to push our value of family and community. Customer testimonials. This is maybe my favorite type of video, and it's probably not close. Why would you think that is? Yeah. Yeah. What better way to show off the value of your brand by someone who's not a part of your brand, who's that much of a cheerleader for you? They've been affected positively that much that they want to speak on your behalf for how great it is so you get more clients. Yeah. We have a client that we're working with right now that has 9,000 5-star reviews on Google. I know, right? And so we're doing a campaign with them saying every 5-star is a story. Because you scroll past Google, and it's like, okay, have you ever been on like Amazon? And it's like, okay, this product has 400,000 5-star reviews. Yeah, I guess I'll get it. It's 400,000 people. Like that's a lot of people. And if you were to sit down and be like, hey, what do you think of this product? To that many people, you'd be overwhelmed with the positive reviews, right? Have you ever been to a restaurant that one of your friends recommended you? And you went, right? Why'd you go? Yeah, but it was one.
Yeah. Trusted.
One, yeah. And so by highlighting literally one testimonial, the social impact of that, of someone, you looking in someone's eyes who cares about your brand, who had a great experience and wants you to have one as well, that is super powerful. Absolutely powerful. Because you can say you're great all the time. I'm sure we've all run into that biz dev person who is constantly repping their brand, and you can just tell that it's like you're not actually in it, right? Or like you see the reviews online and they're horrible, but they're talking a big game. Which one are you going to believe? The reviews, right? So it builds that credibility. Some other types of videos, these are a little bit more niche, but banquet videos. So if you have a target audience that is in a room, quite literally held captive, so to speak, where they're there for your presentation, I can show you whatever I want. It's a lot different than like a Facebook video or a LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever. They're not there for that video, right? They're scrolling. They're not on that platform to learn about your business. So you have to capture their attention immediately. But what's fun about videos at a banquet or an event is they are engaged. They're here to hear about your company, your organization, whatever. And so you can kind of craft a little bit more of a story. You can dive in. You can weave a tale, so to speak. So it's kind of a fun medium. Trade show videos is another unique one. How many of you guys ever run booths at like a OneZone, Taste of the Chamber, what have you? Have you guys put video into your presentations or in your trade shows before? So can you tell me like what was on that video? I'm just curious. Like was it like running slides or what was it? Sure. Yes, so that's the unique part. So with Facebook and LinkedIn and Insta and TikTok and social, I should just say social, that's so much easier to say. You have to capture their attention almost immediately, but you have control over which part of the video they see first, the beginning. In a trade show, you don't have control when they're walking past your booth, which means every 3 seconds is their first 3 seconds. That sucks. That's really hard to deal with. So creating a video that is super engaging at any point in time that gives them a basic understanding of your brand at any point in time throughout that video is very tricky. But what's the goal of that video? That video doesn't need to convey hardly anything. All it needs to get them to do is stop for a moment so your person who's running the booth can engage That is the only point of that video, right? So what we typically do when it comes to trade show videos is we'll have really nice footage of, let's say it's a restaurant or something, just beautiful shots of the food, and like, it doesn't matter what point in the video you see, it's just beautiful food shots, right? But then a third or a quarter of the screen will just be the website, QR code, information that if they decide not to stop, maybe they scan the QR code and then they kept going. Now you can get them on your email list, your newsletter. Maybe there's an offer in there, and maybe they even turn around once they've looked at the website a little bit. So, yeah, can swap over. So, evergreen versus social content. So evergreen, obviously, it's evergreen. It's a video that you would make really high quality that's going to last you 5 to 10 years, right? Assuming you don't rebrand or add services or what have you. It should last, a while. Versus social content, which gets posted once and is gone in a week, right? So if evergreen videos are your Tinder profile, social content is the dates. So evergreen, you've got all your really nice photos, you got the right angles, right? It's like, okay, let's Photoshop that one a little bit. Social content would be the ongoing relationship with your audience, right? It's the quick check-ins, it's the moments, let's say you're hosting a quick event, like a golf outing or something. Hey, we're here at the OneZone golf outing. We're so excited. We've had the biggest attendance yet. We're so excited for Hamilton County and just all the awesome, I don't know, whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's like that video is not going to be relevant 3 years from now, right? But it's still an important video to build OneZone's brand, to show that this is an active community where companies and organizations are coming together to help each other out, do business with each other. Versus an evergreen video, which is more broad. Who is OneZone? What does OneZone do for the community? Well, why should you join? That video can be used for 5, 7, 10 years, what have you. Both are important, but they serve different roles. What we often see a lot of times are people emphasizing the evergreen, but not putting the effort into the social content. They'll do a video every multiple years, and then when it comes to their social presence, they probably just do blog posts, that link to the website. To read the full blog, click here. And that's about it. How engaging, how about this? When you guys are on LinkedIn, how often do you click on those blog posts? Eat them up, right? If it's a topic you're engaged in, sure. But how often when you see, a company post a short video, do you pause for a bit and watch a little bit of it before you keep scrolling? At least for me, it's there's quite a bit of pausing. So actually, a big aspect of the social content is to take every opportunity. Right now I'm giving a talk to you guys, and one of my staff has a camera on me. And we're gonna cut this up and probably put some social content together from this, right? Hopefully I'm talking well. Hopefully I'm making some sort of coherent sense. But I don't know. What was the attendance this morning? Do you know? Yeah, I know more people than 40, and they're not here. So I wanna show some of this content to those people. So I put effort into writing this talk, putting these bullet points together. I made my staff put together the PowerPoint, but I want to maximize the value of the effort that was into this. So if you're putting on, let's say, a fundraising event, like your company is sponsoring Boys and Girls Club or something like that, getting photography, getting video, getting a quick video testimonial from that, representative from Boys and Girls Club. Oh, we're so thankful for ABC Company to be partnering alongside us. They're really a part of the community, because we can tell that they really care about family and community, and they're putting their money where their mouth is, right? Now all of a sudden, I'm just going to keep going back to you because it's a great example with the community development stuff. Take every opportunity to be able to capture content, right? How many of you guys have phones? Okay, I would hope you all do. Modern cell phones are insane, like absurd. I remember my first phone didn't have a camera, period. My second phone, it was the Razr. You guys remember the Motorola Razr? That thing was so cool. One of my friends had the that phone from The Matrix, you know, or like, and then she was cool. But anyways, the Motorola Razr had a 0.2 megapixel camera in the front. 0.2. And that thing was awesome because I could kind of make out my face. And that was cool. Nowadays, this is a Galaxy Z Fold 4. It shoots 8K video. What the hell? That's insane. Guys, I hope you realize how insane that is. I mean, what's your favorite movie from 20 years ago? This camera, like, the fact that it can shoot 8K. Now, there's more to cameras than just resolution, but the ability, like, if you were to put this in a marketer's hand 20 years ago, their head would explode. Seriously. And the size, too. I mean, this is not very heavy. Like, an 8K camera 10 years ago, you know, you're not putting that in your laptop bag, right? Take advantage of it. It's not hard, right? I mean, maybe it is. Yes.
If it's better to shoot vertically,
Sure. Yep.
like how it's best reflected in the different social.
Totally. I have an answer for that. There's several aspects to that. So there's two things that affect that decision. One is platform, right? So when it comes to your phone, no one really holds it like this when they're scrolling Facebook, right? And so having it vertical for basically every social platform is good. But what's interesting about and the reason we hold the phone like this is just, this is how we're built, right? Like our hand, I don't even know how my fingers would have to be to hold it normally like this, right? But then conflicting with that is the way our eyes are built. We're built this way. We're not built this way. And so that's why movie theaters, despite social all being vertical, movie theaters will always be this way. Because can you imagine going to a movie theater that was vertical? It'd be very weird. Because that's not how that's not the I don't know what the right word is. I'm a video guy. Biology, whatever. So you need to shoot to the medium that you are posting to, right? It also kind of affects what you're shooting. So if I'm shooting just a talking head video of myself, here, I'll just do it right now. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but as a well, maybe not, whatever. I'm physically this way, right? So shooting vertical, I fill up the frame. If I do this, there's all this dead space on the left and the right. That's not really doing anything for the video. In fact, it might even be a distraction for the stuff that's in the back. So if you have a group of people, let's say, you know, I'm filming these 4 ladies right in the front, I'm probably gonna go horizontal, even if I'm gonna be posting to social, because if I go vertical just because it's on social, I'm gonna get that much of the ceiling and the wall and then a little bit of this. And so it's just not gonna take up the frame. Does that make sense? Did that answer the question or no? So in conclusion, it depends. Generally, if you're gonna post on social, vertical. If it's gonna be on the website, horizontal, generally. But it also depends what you're shooting. So. Because from a website, if you're just gonna have a talking head, your web developer can put it in vertical somewhere, like on a sidebar, and you can put a little paragraph. You know, so there's ways around it. Next one, Nathan. So what makes a video good? Tell me a little bit about like videos that you enjoy or what has kept your attention? Emotion, that's a good one. Humor, okay. Sure, yeah, the music. Yeah, those are all really good. For me, it's authenticity is probably the biggest one. Because of the fact that everyone has phones and that video is more prevalent than ever, I think the industry is growing like 250% a year. It's like insane. Everyone is way more media savvy than 20 years ago, right? For example, if I were younger, let's say 20 years ago, and Brad Pitt comes on the television in a TV commercial and he's holding up Pizza Hut pizza, and it's like, I'm Brad Pitt and I love Pizza Hut pizza. I'll be like, wow, Brad Pitt loves Pizza Hut pizza. Nowadays, you got Kim Kardashian or what have you, and she's like, I'm Kim Kardashian, I love this lip gloss. And I go, bullshit. You got paid $200,000 for that 2 Instagram posts. That is not real, right? Because we're more media savvy. We understand now that Brad Pitt got paid for that. He doesn't eat Pizza Hut pizza. Have you seen his abs? Like, that's not an authentic testimonial. That is a paid famous person, right? But then you go on TikTok and, that lip gloss stuff, all of a sudden there's all this, it's trending because, oh my gosh, it's the lip gloss challenge. This is an amazing lip gloss. It's all these like no-name girls in their bedroom. It's not shot perfectly, right? The lighting's not great. She's slightly out of focus. But she's just raving about this lip gloss, right? That, to me, that authenticity is so much more powerful than Kim Kardashian doing like this fake thing, right? So to me, what makes a video good is that authenticity. The tools, like the quality, the lighting, the audio, obviously those things are important. But in the 100-something years that video has been around, the tool is always going to get better. There's going to be this phone, I just said 20 years ago, your mind would be blown. What's going to happen 20 years from now? This phone's going to be 1700K and, it's flexible and it's AI. I didn't even have to shoot the video. It just made it for me or something. Something weird's going to happen in 20 years. But the message, the authenticity, the realness of what you're communicating is the most important part, right? Your tool is always going to improve over time. But it's more about the message, right? So with that, what are some of the structure of that making a video good? The hook, the beginning of that video, right? What gets someone to want to watch that video? I was talking with someone, this was a while ago, is a career coach. Been in career coaching for a long time, helping people get jobs and that sort of thing. And he had been producing all this content. I'm like, that's awesome. I love that you're doing that. And he's like, yeah, but I've only been getting like 0 to 2 likes on every post, and I've been posting twice a week, right? I was like, well, let me see one of the videos. And so the video was about him helping, people get jobs. And he started off and he goes, well, hi, my name is John, and I'm a career coach. I've been a career coach for over 10 years. I work with people in the medical industry, and it's done. Like, I can't watch any more of that. Hasn't even gotten anything. And he goes on to talk about, getting students, college students a job out of college, because that's a hard thing to do nowadays, right? So what if he instead started the video with a hook? So maybe a statistic, or a hypothetical question, or an anecdotal story, right? So, for example, did you know that over 50% of college students don't get a job out of college for the first 2 years in their career field? As a career coach with 10 years of experience, here's 3 ways you can avoid that. Entirely different video. And you can go on to talk about the exact same stuff, but the way that you capture the person's attention is completely different. Which one would you be more likely to, am I barking up the right tree? Okay. And then at the end of the video, a call to engagement. And that doesn't necessarily mean visit our website, like and subscribe. Like, no, people will naturally like and subscribe if your content is good, right? Instead, call to engagement. So let's say he finishes that video. In the comments below, I'd love to hear ways that you've been successful in your job interviews. What made you get the job? And now people are posting on the, commenting on it. Oh, I showed up 10 minutes early, or I made sure to dress my best. I came with a printed out resume, something like that. And those comments will make that post perform better, which means it goes put in front of more people, and now all of a sudden more likes, more engagement, right? And it's not about the value of his services as a career coach. It's about the messaging and how he was presenting his value as a career coach. So how can you, for your industry, put that framework of a hook and a call to engagement on your content that gets people to actually use it? Does quality matter for a video? I went over this a little bit, but one of my favorite examples, I have a buddy who used to be at a production company out of Chicago, and they did a 30-second Wendy's commercial. So imagine, you've seen a fast food commercial before where they've got like the burger, it's all the separate pieces and it's coming together and it's, doing the slow motion, it's juicy and perfect, right? Have we all seen those type of commercials? Behind the scenes of those type of things, there's artists and people who are like putting a drop of water on the bun just to make sure, it's juice, or on the lettuce to make sure it's that, and they're spritzing the beef to make it look like it just came off the grill, like they're adding steam in post, like it's a whole thing. The number of people in this room are how many people are typically in the room for those type of shoots, like actually. And they rented out a Wendy's for two full days. They're all paid actors walking up, grabbing their tray, whatever. $750,000 for a 30-second commercial, right? Now contrast that with like modern YouTube, where you find a YouTuber who has 50 million subscribers, and you give him $250,000, a third of the budget, and during his video, his 15-minute video, he walks into a Wendy's, orders a burger. There's no set dressing on that burger. It's a real burger, and he goes, "Hey guys, this video is sponsored by Wendy's." Takes a bite. Yeah, it's really good. You guys should go get some Wendy's. And Wendy's sees a multi-million tick up in their sales for that week. Do you think Wendy's cares whether it was this beautiful cinematic masterpiece of their double deluxe or whatever versus this guy on YouTube? I mean, obviously this represents like the visual of their brand a little bit better, but this also does sales, right? So quality, in my opinion, is secondary to results, ultimately. Although go for quality as best you can. To finish this up, I wanna analyze a video or two real quick. So this next one, oh, did I skip slides? Sorry. Okay, didn't wanna make your life hard or anything. So we did a video for Cluster Truck. Have you guys heard of Cluster Truck before? So this video was for the sake of getting more investors to want to be a part of they're doing another round of funding. And so this video was part of their presentation to get people to, give money to Cluster Truck. Yeah, that's the only context I'm gonna give. And I want you guys to see how we communicated the message in this video.
A lot of food trucks are stepping up right now.
An Indeed-based delivery-only restaurant keeps expanding its reach.
It all sounds really good.
Cluster Truck is on a roll.
Cluster Truck?
Cluster Truck.
Cluster Truck.
Cluster Truck says it is redefining how people order meals through its high-tech delivery-only model.
This features a whole lot of different cuisines, and delivery is always free, giving you more access to food that you don't have to cook. I'm in.
And joining us now, the CEO and co-founder, Chris Baggett.
So we serve over 80 items, Asian dishes, Mexican dishes, vegetarian dishes, cheeseburgers, wings, pizza, lots and lots of different kinds of salad. Everything is very flexible. You can modify it however you like. It's really popular with families. So everyone can just get what they want.
And really, at the end of the day, it is technology that drives this whole thing.
Everything is about time. So we're, primarily a software company, and we built an entire system that really just shaves minutes and middlemen out of every step of the system.
Our promise to the customer is, no matter how long your overall delivery takes, your food will never be more than 6 minutes old. And because we solved that time problem, we're able to really focus on quality.
All right, Chris, we'll send people to the website and they can find out more. What is that address for people who want to know?
Clustertruck.com.
So, what did you guys learn from that video? Food's fresh. Yep. What else? Variety. Yep, easy. Yeah, we saw the app. Yeah. And why does that help them for food? Yeah, gets the food there within 6 minutes. So you guys learned some about Cluster Truck. So those were all the goals of what we were trying to communicate, right? How did we do it? So who was the narrator on this? Third party, yeah. Yeah, news. So why didn't we just have Chris Baggett on, camera? We shot with him. Hi, I'm Chris Baggett, CEO of Cluster Truck, and we got food and technology. Like, why didn't we go that route? Why did we go this route? Sure. Sure. Yeah. Remember our target audience. These are investors. If I'm putting my money on something, do I want it to be like kind of, maybe this will go well? Everyone's talking about this. The very first shot is breaking news. And it's not just one news channel. It was like, I don't know, how many were in that edit? 5 or 6? Yeah. Like this is a brand that's popping off. They have a system, they know what they're doing. And so that adds to the credibility to these investors that they should invest in this. Now, that was that video was kind of a pain in the butt to edit because they weren't on the news thinking, okay, Mork Productions is going to be editing this later. We better cohesively, we had to sift through and figure out, okay, how can we make this a narrative that actually made sense for this video? But that pain was worth it to come up with a cohesive message that really showed the energy and the reputation of this brand that would get investors to come on. So, and then the other one that we'll show, this one's actually a OneZone video. This is from the Brand Slap side. So OneZone recorded this themselves. How many of you guys know Jeff over here? That's his mic. He brought that himself. But yeah, they shot this. I'll let you play it real quick.
Hey, OneZone, we are getting ready to launch Spark Fishers right here all week. Lots going on. My name's Jeff Worrell, and I'm joined by Marissa Deckert. She is the director of Fishers Parks Department. We're getting ready. You've got not just a weekend. This is a week.
This is a week-long festivity.
Unbelievable. It is your big 4th of July themed celebration. Tell us, what do we expect each day?
On Monday, a kickoff with a golf tournament in partnership with the Rotary Club at the Hawthorns. Tuesday, a national concert. We have Uptown Funk coming out of California. They're a Bruno Mars tribute. Following our Tuesday concert, we have a drone show. Lots of really cool images. Wednesday, we'll have a 5K. On Thursday, we have a car and art show here in the Municipal Complex. Friday, kicking it to a national tribute band with Taylor Swift tribute. And then fireworks we have following our Friday show. And Saturday is our big kind of culmination street festival and parade. Saturday, this is the footprint. So we are going to branch all the way up to the amphitheater and then all the way down to 116th Street. We are taking up all of this space for food, music, entertainment, kids zone, teen zone. We have a roller rink. We have a zip line. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and no admission. Just come on out.
100%. It's a really fun event. It's great community building and great tradition, too.
Thank you to all the volunteers and the staff and the people who are making Spark Fishers great. Okay, OneZone, you've got no excuse. You are busy this week. Jeff Worrell with Marissa Deckert. We'll see you out here at Spark Fishers.
So that's more of an example of a social video. So that was a one shot, they're just sitting there, standing there talking with the fountains in the background. Get a ton of great information, right? And all we did was add some energy with the audio, add some music in the background, and then caption it so it's easier to digest, right? That's it. So that was shot on a cell phone, right? It does not need to be. You don't need to change the world or reinvent the wheel, right? You just need to be producing content.
all the difference sometimes, rather than hearing someone faint or like you hear wind noise or whatever that sounded like, whatever he was using.
Yeah.
With that video was very good.
Yeah. For sure. Well, that is about all that I was going to talk about. Yes.
Speaking on behalf of OneZone,
Mhm.
and a lot of small businesses that are part of OneZone, I don't, and I'm just gonna speak for myself, I don't think getting the content is the main issue. I think we have a lot of ideas for the content.
Mhm.
I don't think shooting the video is even the issue. It's like I shoot
Sure.
it, and I don't know how to edit something to make it into a produced video.
Right.
So, what steps do you recommend for, small companies that are just starting with this to say, I know I need to get away from,
Right. The short answer is you should hire BrandSlap. Because actually that, like, with Mork Productions, we've been running for 7 years, and I would get people asking that question, and we're high production. We're sending video cameras and staff and the whole shebang, right? And so people would ask that, and it's like there's not a $15,000 budget for that type of content. So I typically would just, hey, we're not a fit. We created BrandSlap with the intent of helping those type of businesses. So one would be hire us. Two, I strongly recommend checking out CapCut as an app. If you guys haven't already downloaded, it is super user-friendly. And I mean, the way that I got into video was by dinking around, 13 years ago. And the tools were 13 years worse than they are now. There are plenty of amazing tools that are out there now that you can dive into. So if it's a budget thing, learn, because you can use that in more than just one place. I'm actually pulling up in a video real quick. Or Nathan, do you think you could pull that up on the audio one in the cafe? Yeah, you do that. I'm going to show you an audio example too, which references the mic thing. But yeah, education would be a big thing. I would say you could also, find a freelancer or someone who's like fresh out of college. That's perfect work for them, and they're, looking for their first initial jobs. So, does that help? Oh, sure. Yeah, I can do it right now. So yeah, essentially what it is people can record their own content. And then we will give them a login to our website, and so they can upload files to there. We will then download them on our end. We will edit them, add the captions, animated icons, all in your branding, custom, music, clean up the audio, clean up the color, and send it back to you for wherever you want to put it. We also have educational resources. So a lot of the stuff I talked about here, we go through kind of a BrandSlap boot camp of how to talk to camera, how to hold the camera, best camera settings for various phones. So actually, any of you guys who have an iPhone in here, for example, if you pull it out in the top right-hand corner when you're in video, it should say HD, I think. If you hit that, it'll switch to 4K. All of your phones have 4K capability, but for file size, they default it to the lower setting, so it saves file space. But if you want a higher quality video for when you're shooting, do that. Stuff like that. So we'll go through educational best practices like that. So this is an example. I was out and about.
So right now I'm sitting in a coffee house, and there's a lot of background noise. This is not an ideal place to shoot a video. You can hear some refrigerators humming in the background. There's some lo-fi music behind me. There's people working. Someone just came in the front door. And in a second here, we're going to apply the AI audio filters that we've been using on these videos. And so if you listen right here, There's people talking right there. You might not be able to hear it at all now as they're walking by. There's music going, and you should only be able to hear me right now. These type of tools allow us to get quality audio out of challenging situations. So pretty sick. By the way, here's what it sounds like right now.
So pretty cool. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy what you can do nowadays. And CapCut now has it as well. So yeah, if you think around, you can start to find some pretty cool things. Look at that handsome fella. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once again, it's almost like a question about knowing your audience.
Sure.
But when is it appropriate for 2 minutes? When is it appropriate?
Here's how I like to answer that question. When I start speaking a sentence to you, I'm not thinking this has to be 20 seconds long. Rather, I'm going to speak until my point has been made, and then I'm going to stop talking. I have seen videos that are 20 minutes long on YouTube that it's like, oh, wow, that was quick. And I have had videos that were 30 seconds long where I'm trying to click skip. What's the difference there? If what you're saying is engaging and relevant, then length shouldn't matter, ultimately. The other answer to that question is it depends on what the video's function is for your pipeline. Like a 15-second, the whole goal, like we're doing a video for Crew Car Wash right now, where the whole goal is to get them to sign up for Unlimited. And it's a 30-second ad, right? There's not a ton to communicate there. It's like, sign up for Unlimited, look how awesome Unlimited is. Done, right? We don't need to have a 3-minute, well, it all started when I was 9, when I washed my dad's car for the first, no, it's like, no, Unlimited car wash, so. Anything else? Cool, thanks for having me, guys.